Gormagad a Carly agus dús caihí Gwyl me caihu a spaclí dú marta abroid orm salema so agus tá siad nefneach fóstó glach mal leiscail. Agus bhhailm ma bhuihes a hort ditsa is far untach hu agus tá méid fear cinse go méid cathairleach untach hu fásta. So ma bhuihes ditsa agus tá art ar runni agus tá na daoine eile a bhfuil crunnethe an seo ag an códáil starúil seo agus ceann an obair go háin tapachach é seo a dhéanamh. A téisiigh, a tánaiste, lás príomhhaire and dúsceart. Even though Sinn Féin is disappointed at the way the government has limited this initiative, I want to commend the Taoiseach and the Tánaiste for proceeding with it. And I want to give you fraternal and very benign notice of our intention to work with all delegates to achieve the fullest potential of this convention. And Sinn Féin welcomes especially the adjustments that I request to the processes, which include the requirement that the convention give appropriate regard to the terms of the Good Friday and other agreements. Agus Coram Falsha Rova Legan Shaw and you Hig and Ced Crunumar Adwart May Bamuchahan den Channel Bunrock Tool Shaw. Buhist Justice O'Hogoin and Tullab Dermot Keogh and Tullab David Farrell August Bay and Dr. Jean Sutter Asang Gudge Unker. I want to commend especially the citizen participants. I remain hopeful that the unionist parties will yet see the value of taking part, and we should continue to try and encourage and persuade them to participate. And to everyone who's agreed to embark on this really extraordinary journey on behalf of our fellow citizens, our Wahas Mór Libshe. Sinn Féin welcomed the proposal to convene the convention because a new constitution is needed. The 1937 constitution was written in the aftermath of partition, after a bloody civil war in the context of a very different society. It was for a state newly emerging from British colonialism. Centuries of foreign domination had almost destroyed the Irish language and our culture. 7 million of our citizens, a huge amount of people, had fled overseas, and British policy had ensured that the vast majority of citizens were impoverished, and except for agriculture and the Lagan Basin, most of the island had little industrial infrastructure. The conflict in the north, the peace process, the enormous economic changes of recent decades, the revelations of child abuse in our institutions, the diminished influence of the Catholic hierarchy, and the disclosure of corruption in the golden circles and in politics have also dramatically and fundamentally changed societal attitudes. 75 years after the 1930 Constitution was produced, and although Ireland is still partitioned, the Good Friday Agreement has created a new All-Ireland dynamic, All-Ireland institutions, and a new political and constitutional imperative. Last week, for example, the Good Friday Agreement Committee from the Oireachtas, including representatives of all the parties and independents, travelled to East Belfast and met with community and political leaders from loyalist working class areas. On Wednesday, another delegation of Oireachtas members travelled north to visit Mogabrey Prison. Unionist leaders regularly visit Dublin. Cooperation across this island is now commonplace. But in these days of imposed austerity and Troika governance, citizens are asking, where are our rights? People, citizens want more accountability, more transparency. People want equality. And neither gender or race or age or disability or sexual orientation or class or creed or skin colour or location should be used to deny citizens our full rights and entitlements. The right to a job, to a home, to a decent standard of education and health, to access to health and education, and to equality in all matters, including in the Irish language, should be enshrined in our Constitution and evident in the lives of our citizens. Sinn Féin is for a constitution which reaches out to our neighbours and the children of the diaspora scattered across the globe. Why can't Irish passport holders in the North, or in the USA, or Canada, or Australia, or elsewhere vote in presidential elections the way citizens of other states can? Sinn Féin is for a constitution that also embraces all of the citizens of this island, especially those who feel themselves to be British. And they too should be entitled to vote in presidential elections if they wish to. We want to see a constitution which builds reconciliation between orange and green, a constitution that is part of shaping a new republic for the 21st century and which draws on best international practice. A new republic that's democratic and inclusive and based on equality, freedom and social solidarity. A republic that shares wealth more equitably, which looks after the aged and the young, provides full rights for people with disabilities, liberates women and delivers the highest standards of public services. The constitution of a real republic, a new republic based on citizens' rights, must reflect these core values. And these aren't new concepts. Take up the proclamation. Read it. It isn't just for pinning up on the wall. Take the democratic programme of the first Dáil. All these great values are here before us. These visionary documents commit us to pursuing the happiness and prosperity of the whole nation and all its parts, guaranteeing civil and religious liberty and equal rights and equal opportunities, and cherishing all the children of the nation equally. They commit us to making provision for the well-being of children, so that no child shall suffer hunger or cold from lack of food, clothing or shelter. And these are words that speak to us today in a society where children and adults go hungry, where 500,000 citizens are out of work, where immigration is thriving. So the Constitutional Convention is an opportunity to reimagine Ireland, to think nationally in the real meaning of that word. And as an Irish citizen from the North, the use of the term national or country or Ireland jars with me when it's really meant to be applied improperly and solely to this state. So let's think beyond partition. Partition isn't fixed forever. It can be shifted and changed. Let's think of citizens of Antrim and Down, Armagh, Derry, Fermanagh and Tyrone, as well as our other 26 counties and our offshore islands. And let's imagine and reimagine an Ireland of the 21st century as a place where conflict and violence are past. So this convention needs to think big and be prepared to act big in this patriotic project. Demand more time for your deliberations, open the agenda up, ensure that the convention travels into and meets citizens from rural Ireland and the border corridor and the Gaeltacht areas and the north. Engage with new ethnic communities from overseas who now live here. And why don't we invite representatives from the travelling community to present their rightful claim to be treated as an ethnic minority? Why should the diaspora be limited to conference calls? Why don't we open up dialogue with unionism at community and civic level as well as political level? And most importantly, ensure that the Constitutional Convention is open and transparent and builds public confidence. It's obair go han tafachtach seo agus lasú ládrú a minteras síhan agus rahunas or an ilion na heran agus idir ar God's dini. There is, friends, a potential and an opportunity to create a new republic. Theobald Wolfe Tone said it well when he spoke of a cordial union among all the people of Ireland to maintain that balance which is essential to the preservation of our liberties and the extension of our commerce. Dublin Castle, where we meet today, used to be the centre of British power in Ireland. It was here that James Connolly was held before he was taken to be executed. Go to the room where he was incarcerated and ponder on the mission that we are embarking on today. We know that the citizens of this island deserve better than the society we have inherited. Ireland, north and south, is changing. We are an island people in transition. For that, we need a new republic, a new constitution that reflects our genius, our diversity, our dignity, our strength, our culture, a constitution which is modern, inclusive and visionary. A constitution that belongs to everyone in an Ireland that belongs to everyone. Go ramíle mai agab agus gníirí an tá libse go leir.